Hello everyone and welcome to another high elo game of Age of Empires. Today we've got a real battle of the discounts as GL.DauT playing as the Bulgarians in red gets ready to duke it out with Sora Kuma playing as the Magyars in blue. Now while the players herd their herdables, explore their immediate surroundings and try to get their butts up to Feudal Age ASAP. Not a bad time for us to take a look at the Civ matchup we will be watching today. Now, the Bulgarians, what I would like to call a cost-cutting civilization. Their militia line upgrades are free of charge. Their blacksmith and siege workshop upgrades cost a lot less food. Their blacksmiths, by the way, work almost twice as fast as normal. And their town centers cost 50% less stone, which is great because the Bulgarians can focus their stone expenditure on their unique structure, the Krepost. The Krepost, think of that as a mini castle similar to the Sicilian donjon, which we saw very, very recently, except it's a lot more expensive, comes with more HP, higher attack, and tankier armor. And like a castle, does provide 20 population space. Now, once you've saved your resources, you can invest them in building a pretty tough Bulgarian army. Even though you don't get champions, the Bulgarians can upgrade their two-handed swordsmen to be very, very tanky and take a punch on the battlefield with a massive +5 melee armor boost. And they can turn their cavalry Japanese by upgrading them to attack 33% faster, which is amazing news for their unique unit, the Conic. A 2-for-1 unit that starts out as a tanky, powerful, flail-wielding cavalryman who transforms into a less tanky but still powerful infantry unit when it dies, or gets dehorsed, or whatever happens to it when its HP hits 0. Now, who might want that HP to hit 0? Let's take a look at GL.DauT's opponent. This game's Sora Kuma, playing as the Magyars in blue, a fast-paced mounted civilization with a few features that make them very hard to deal with at all stages of the game. Their scouts, their light cav, their hussars are all 15% cheaper. They get all melee attack upgrades for free, which saves them not only about 1,000 total resources, but also the research time. We'll take a look at the top right of our screen once Sora Kuma clicks up to Feudal. I'm assuming we're at the very least going to get to see Feudal Age this game. This box where my mouse is will click up, then Castle, then Imperial, Forging, Iron Casting, Blast Furnace, all free. And like I said, in addition to the actual resource savings, there's the time savings. Blast Furnace and Imperial Age does take 100 seconds, so getting that instantaneously does give you a massive advantage over your opponent. Now, speaking of advantages, your Cav Archers also train faster, can be upgraded to get an extra range and attack, and the unique unit of the Magyars is the Magyar Hussar, just in case you were concerned about whose and which civ it belongs to. A light cavalry unit similar to, but a little bit stronger than a regular Hussar, except its attack bonuses against siege units, not monks, which might be bad news bears for the Bulgarians, and it initially does cost a little bit of gold, does the Magyar Hussar, although you can upgrade it to have its gold cost replaced with food, so it does become a usual food-only semi-trash. I call it a semi-trash unit because can you really have a trash unit training out of a castle? How much trash can one castle really produce compared to your more standard barracks or archery range or even a stable, for example? Now, to help support its horsey-based army, Magyar villagers can be much more aggressive, move out onto the map, explore the world, and sightsee a lot more securely, let's say. Why do I say that? Because the Magyar villager kills the wild animals on the map with only one fell swoop. One attack needed saves you time, saves you energy, and most importantly, saves you the headache of having to worry about your villager with maybe, a little bit of HP reduced off of it, because GL.DauT's scout is already looking for some damage. It saves you a little bit of a headache, so you can run around the map. Although on a map like this, which, by the way, let's take a look at what map we're on, because we are not on Arabia anymore, Toto. We are on Haboob, the map that looks like one giant die with 2 pips. Or if you're from Europe and you kind of tilt your head to the left, kind of looks like your electrical socket, doesn't it? I think the European electrical sockets are round, whereas in North America we have those little rectangular slits for the plugs to go into. But in any event, GL.DauT, discovering where his opponent is, taking a bit of a long trip, sees the wall off to the left that Sora Kuma's already put up. Both players heading up to the Feudal Age. About 8 minutes into militia as well for our Bulgarian. If he can keep these alive again, these upgrade to the next iteration over and over and over. Think Turks, with the scouts becoming light cav, becoming hussars. Automatic, same principle here for the Bulgarians and their militia line units. And we'll see in no risk of getting killed. So in 28 seconds, when GL.DauT hits the Feudal Age. I'm going to keep my eyes on this part of the map. DauT, for his part, making no attempt to wall his base off. This is the play of a gentleman who wants to be real aggressive with it. And here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Boom. Immediate upgrade and super cool feature. Sora Kuma wants absolutely nothing to do with this attack. And so actually walling off with an actual wall off. I think might be one of the first and only times we've seen a wall off this early in the game being done with an actual wall. And it looks like, okay, DauT managing to get Sora Kuma's scout by the very skin of his teeth. Look at that, 3 HP left. One more attack, basically from any unit. And that scout is dead meat, but Sora Kuma's wall is up. Only 1080 HP at the moment. We are still in the Feudal Age. DauT, though, pressing in with a tower. Does he have any villagers on stone? He does not. Has Sora Kuma even gone out onto the map and explored? I mean, they generally on a map like Haboob, you kind of know where your opponent is, just because there's not really a lot of guesswork to it. This is not as random a spawn as Arabia, for example, where you might spawn in the 12 o'clock position and your opponent might spawn in the 4 o'clock position instead of the 6. No, these Haboob spawns are generally a lot more even and symmetrical. So Sora Kuma should know he got a little bit of confirmation there with the house and the barracks, and that's all he really needs to know, according to him. Has not scouted there again, and really can't scout because, well, this scout is dead. Speaking of dead scout, oh my god, 1 HP DauT playing with fire. Any other player would be sending this scout basically out to pasture. You are on actual scouting duty. Go find me relics. Go find me resource patches. Go find me anything. Just stay the hell away from the battlefield because you are pretty darn useless here with your 1 HP. And although on the other hand, it is taking up a population space for a healthier unit, so maybe DauT kind of does want to get rid of it. In any event, his military industrial complex very much up and running. Blacksmith going up behind the barracks will give him his first Feudal Age structure. Ooh, he's got to be so careful. Okay, there you go. That's what happens. You F around, you find out with an arrow to the back of the head as this militia army loses another of its members. And now the kill count is 2-1 in favor of Sora Kuma, who's starting to pump out more foot archers. Okay, and let's see what kind of infrastructure. Okay, so he's got a barracks, a stable, and an archery range, one of everything, to make sure that he can respond appropriately to this Bulgarian incursion. 3 kills to 1. Lion springs into action here. I love that this spearman is kind of just like a little brother, just kind of hanging out. Bring me with you. He follows the entire journey, and then when the attack actually happens, he runs the hell away. And who got the kill? Okay, it was the actual archers. I got very excited there because I didn't see an attack animation. But there you go. DauT's entire expeditionary force forward frontal attack absolutely gone. Berry bushes are being taken. Might want to wall this in case your opponent, I don't know, maybe tries to thrust in yet again. His tower does still exist. It's still here, picking off HP from this house. Although things have slowed down 14 minutes into the game. They're both getting Town Watch, obviously. Name of the game with Haboob is basically only 3 real directions of attack, left, right, and then depending on where you spawn, up or down. And so outposts might not be a bad idea here for both players as DauT loses 2 of his goats. Now, will Sora Kuma, will he be a gentleman and send these goats to the Bulgarian slaughterhouse, or will he send it to the Magyar delicatessen to be turned into schnitzel? So far, neither, as these goats just kind of hang around here. And now Sora Kuma's turn. Oh, he catches up some skirmishers. Remember, these scout line units are 15% cheaper. Instead of 80 food, they do cost 68 for the Magyars. And as the game progresses, that will apply to their hussars as well. And man, the Magyars have a pristine cavalry line. So as much as they are a fun cavalry archer civilization, their cavalry line, especially with the free upgrades. By the way, there's forging. Oh, and actually it says free. I always forget that it does that on Capture Age. That when a civilization gets a free upgrade, it like the Koreans and their archer armor, for example, it does say free. At the same time, a bit of a villager attack saying, hey, our men and women in uniform are on the other side of the map, so why don't we take matters into our own hands and try to destroy that tower. Cavalry is being shooed away by a counter unit. Archers are trying to avoid a counter unit. So the typical Feudal Age shenanigans. He'll count 4-2. Tower should go down. DauT making absolutely no attempt to repair it or save it or defend it at all as another army group moves forward. Okay. Sora Kuma is being real aggressive, and I really like it here, especially after DauT's very aggressive opening. And he is moving in with a skirmisher that needs to be very careful with his minimum range. These villagers themselves can take care of this skirmisher. Archer down, another archer down for our Magyar. Like I said, counter unit. If it can close, ooh, if it can close, be careful. Be very, very careful. That's my Elmer Fudd impression. Somehow this archer is still alive after taking about 1,000 javelins to the face. This army, still no kills. Double wall off going up for DauT emergency. Is this open? This probably not open. But archers be damned. Scouts move in. Where's that one archer? Oh, pardon me, the spearman is here. So he lost all his archers in the back. He's still got a few archers in the front. We are still in feudal, so the house's negative melee armor will really make it go down very, very quickly. And there you go, skirmisher being shooed away by villagers. Probably 0 kills for you as well. DauT is heading up to the Castle Age. His opponent nowhere close. Still needs 600 food. Still training scouts, even discounted, are eating up a good chunk of your food. And one more wackadoo. Down goes the skirmisher. And Sora Kuma is mistakenly believing that this is a Feudal Age play out of his opponent, although Sora Kuma hasn't really seen any new army, right? He's here in the front. He's seeing the same skirmishers over and over. He's here in the back. He sees a few spearmen. There's nothing really resource intensive here. Oh, the town center garrisoned at the perfect moment, gets both of those scouts. So if Sora Kuma really, if you don't see your opponent building any new army, it's safe to assume that they're not. Especially if your own settlement isn't under attack by anything. Gangbang of spearmen happening here. Shafts pushing in, pushing out. And Sora Kuma loses his rear spearman. He should be a little suspicious right now. He should not be perhaps investing in scale barding armor for his scout line units, because the last thing you want to be doing is dealing with a Castle Age Bulgarian. Now, the Sicilians can drop donjons in Feudal Age, so that sort of Damocles is kind of hanging over you right from the very beginning of the game. But the Bulgarians, you got to wait till Castle Age. Okay, picking off a spearman is good news here. Now, the good news is for Sora Kuma, if he keeps picking off individual units and getting villager kills and here and there sniping a unit or two, when the attack finally does come, it's not going to be that bad to deal with because DauT will have no army. That being said, he's got a bunch of skirmishers here, 10. They pick off both archers yet again. The worst thing to be in this game, it appears, is a Magyar foot archer. Oh, look at the HP on these units. DauT, by the way, outpost sees it, and more army coming in from the right side, right as DauT looks like he wants to drop a donjon. Pardon me, a crepost. And you know he wants to. His villagers are antsy in the pantsy, but why are they mining gold here? He doesn't even have enough wood to build a mining camp to drop off the gold he's carrying. So he's going to have to idle these villagers. Oh my goodness. 8 whole villagers. This is a fifth of his economy. Idling. Okay, look at that. He bought stone, but still not enough. Still 5 stone away. 5 little pebbles are all that stand in the way between him. He has to buy another 100 stone. That's so sour. Why not just send one villager here or send one of these farmers over here to gather 5 stone as opposed to spending 180 gold? But it is what it is, and what it is a forward crepost, which should lame a good amount of farmland and this town center. Working away on the stone wall, which in 30 seconds the HP will jump up to 1800 automatically. And I like that Sora Kuma is kind of keeping the exit available to him. By the way, he lost the tower war here. DauT's tower is up, but DauT, suspecting that he's probably not going to see another tower anytime soon. There's that 1800 HP, by the way. If you're not familiar with how walls work and you want to build petards, well, figure out the HP. I guess he realizes, hey, there's probably not going to be another attack, so why would I spend any stone repairing? Why would I spend any resources repairing that structure? And again, DauT's army is a feudal age army. He's got one conic that we saw come out of here. 2 town centers for Sora Kuma. So he's confident that he can hold this. His army is nowhere close, by the way. And I believe I pivoted away right as this conic killed a villager. I do apologize. I do have that habit of looking left, right as the action is happening to the right. Town center has a lot more room. Pardon me, what the hell am I talking about? I'm so sorry. I'm highlighting the Krepos. I'm looking at the town center, and I'm talking about the town center. The Krepos has a lot more room to garrison, a lot more HP. It is not losing this fight. But Sora Kuma's army, a chunk of it is back. I don't know what this blue rectangle is out on the map. We'll take a look in a second. Okay, so he's absconded with a few villagers who are jacking wood to the eastern portion of the map. That was a delete, right? Is he going to run his villagers? Why would you run them this way and not south this way? Out come the conics. I guess DauT doesn't really have ballistics, so there's no real risk of the Krepos hitting those villagers, but those conics sure are chasing. 11 villager kills to 1, 12, make it 13. The shadow here, the outline. What a way to die with that flail to the back of the head, that giant spiky ball. There are fewer more gory and terrible ways to die in this game than by conic. Can you imagine running away and then that giant spiky ball just crushing the back of your skull? That's terrible. Absolutely terrible. Sora Kuma at the moment says, hey, I'm going to just counterattack it into your base, as he loses his town center, loses access to all of his farms. Still does have 2 TCs. He's down 10 villagers. Should be down a lot more because he's lost 15 vills to 1. And DauT going to encounter a castle. But how many villagers is this? Only 9 villagers. DauT, by the way, again, idling a whole bunch. Not 8, but 9 this time. And he's buying the stone for a Krepos. Oh my goodness. DauT's got 12 villagers on stone, and he still has to buy stone for a Krepos. It looks like there's an altercation, a bit of a scuffle to the back of DauT's base. We'll keep an eye on that in picture. But for now, the conics break through the defensive house. The villagers run away. The castle denied. And now the Krepos is going up. And what a sour turn of events at 56%. Nonetheless, a random dumb villager pops out. A random dumb villager dies. And now here comes that Bulgarian siege. But wow, what do you do as Sora Kuma here? First of all, he's still fighting in the rear of this base. Looks like he lost a bunch of scouts, killed a good number of units as well. He's got 3 of them, but alive. But look at this guy, 3 HP. Now DauT basically has his run-of-the-mill. Oh my goodness, run of the town here. I do apologize. Sora Kuma expanding westward. Not bad, not bad. If your opponent pressing you on the right, you go left. He's adding another TC here where we saw those lumberjacks. Why not next to the gold down here? And he canceled the castle. He's replacing it with another castle. But, I mean, you're so close to the Bulgarian army. Why are you building it right here? Conics look like they wanted to pivot to the right. Not too sure why they didn't. And these armies are so big from our Bulgarian, this army, that it can just body block villagers. And oh no, another castle. This one denied at 75%, 76. Incredibly sour turn of events. I love, by the way, oh man, I was gonna say that DauT's army is again primarily a feudal age one, aside from the conics, but wow, Sora Kuma just getting pressed into losing his monks. I don't think he got a single conversion here. Did the monks? Oh, he didn't even have enough room. Kick out 2 of these villagers. Sorry. It's like one of those movies where it's the end of the world and they build like a spaceship to leave the earth, and only the very rich, the elite, can go into the spaceship or the ark or whatever the hell it's usually called, something biblical. Kick out these 2 villagers and put in these 2 monks. They're a little bit more valuable, but Sora Kuma still has the goats over here. Army doesn't really exist over here. Looks like he took a shitty fight to the north of DauT's base. I like that he's expanded here. DauT, by the way, probably has absolutely no idea, hasn't even explored this part of the map. But losing one town center, castle denied at 50+%, castle denied at 70+%. These are not good things to happen to you. And so Sora Kuma, is it any wonder that with losing 30 villagers to 2, he's just like, he's had enough. I can't. I've only killed 31. You've killed 52. The difference is in villagers, and man, oh man, Conics to this. I mean, 17 Conics can beat this head on. You don't even need the skirmishers and the pikemen. But DauT, PKPM right at the beginning of the game. Sora Kuma towards the middle of the game. Economies about 1,800 resources apart. So just a little over 10% bigger economy for our Bulgarian. Not the end of the world. Had the game continued, obviously this disparity would grow and grow and grow, just because you can't lose, 15 times more villagers than your opponent and expect your economies to keep pace. One conversion, and it's by DauT, not by Sora Kuma. So his monks did absolutely jack shit, losing 5 structures, raising 4. Even though that was a decent raise there with that one tower, he got the pressure off of him. DauT with some questionable economic balancing moves, bringing 8 villagers to mine gold when he didn't even have enough wood for a mining camp. Then instead of just sending one of these villagers to mine 5 stone, he bought 100 stone. Okay, and then he bought the stone for this Krepos. So that wasn't a bad idea. That was probably the best thing. That probably is what led to the GG. Who's kidding who? That denied this castle. That gave him a production facility for Conics, defending the siege workshop. And now it's starting to pump out more and more units. The Conics are everywhere. It's hard to see a little bit, but they are here, 8 of them, which is basically 16 units. One of them is dead, dismounted, and there he is with his flail, flailing his flail around, is that dismounted Conic. And unfortunately, Sora Kuma, instead of defending with his sizable army, just sent it across the map. It did take a few fights here, but DauT's aggression, unchecked and unstopped, just shoves his way in right into the Magyar base. And as much as the Magyar would have loved to get a castle up at 76.62%, unfortunately just stopped, losing way too many villagers and just investing way too much in getting that castle up twice, by the way, losing villagers this time, losing villagers that time. And as cool as it is that he's expanded out to the 3 o'clock position in here as well, which, by the way, DauT has seen, because this town center has killed a good number of units. Ultimately, Sora Kuma is just out of gas. He's at 36 villagers to 60. He's at 5 army count to 24. And as much as he's in the castle age, look at his army. It's 3 scouts, an archer who hasn't even revealed himself, and by the way, can't reveal himself. So as much as I say DauT's army is primarily a feudal age army, Sora Kuma's entire army is a feudal age army, with the exception of this one little bald man hiding amongst the villagers here in this town center. And DauT, with the aggression from the very beginning of the game, forcing an actual stone wall off, takes the W. But GG in a very hectic game to both players.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips and make sure to subscribe and enable notifications so that you're notified of my latest uploads.